Welcome to Screenwriters Beat! We are back again, believe it or not, to Google Hangouts, the show of shows. Welcome, my incredible, talented working panel, our talented panel of working screenwriters. Say hi to Eric Ingram. Oh, no, don't say hi to him.
There
Eric
he is.
Driving. Oh, there he is, Eric.
Hello.
All right, drive safely. Say hi to Heidi Musto Giovanni.
Hi, you guys. Anne, thank you for being the most persistently fabulous, great leader. Thank you, guys. Do we just have to tell our audience it's taken a little effort to get here, and we're delighted to be here. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you, thank you. One of the things we were asking when you say hi is to tell us the state of your genre. I guess you should state your genre too.
Oh, comedy. Comedy is king, and it always will be. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Eric, there he is. Eric is the like, you're commuting, literally.
Yes, yes. Literally, that's right.
Literally. You're so LA. Welcome back to the show.
Well, you're so glad to be back. You forget all the troubles. Sometimes you gotta go through a little struggle to get the prize at the end. So this is fine. So we're good. We're gonna make it through. So
we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
So happy to be back, though. Yes, my esteemed panel, thank you for holding on. This is crazy. Just happen to be out and about, but whatever. I write action and comedies of our strong suit.
And what do you think if your State of the Union statement of are those still strong genres to be writing?
Oh yes, absolutely. You know what? The genre that you should be writing is the genre that you love to write.
Yeah.
Well, true. I'm not making people change genres. I just want to see you're out there working it. I want to know how well it's working for you.
Working very well. Working very well.
Good to hear it. Good to hear it. Also, welcome back, Nicole Jones-Dion.
Hello. After a little brief hiatus, I forget when the last time I was with you guys. It's been a while. So I'm still doing horror, and horror is awesome if you are doing high concept original horror. If you're doing the same old that everybody's seen a million, it's not so good. But if you're coming up with something new and innovative and original, people like that.
Oh, cool. Well, good to know. Right. Very good. Welcome back. Also, welcome our newest regular. He was irregular. Now we've made him a regular. Tom Fryer, how are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for having me on, Anne. Hello, fellow panelists. Good to see you again. My genre, and I keep arguing whether this really is a genre, is true stories. I found that's my passion. I love true stories, and they tend to be action or thriller or action thriller. So that's, those, I think those genres are doing very, very well. And in fact, true stories seem to be gaining clout too in the marketplace. So I'm very, very happy. I'm doing what I think Eric's right. You got to do what you love. But I'm happy that what I love is something that has widespread acceptance.
Well, that definitely helps. Well, hi guys, Anne Kimbrough coming back too. We had a few technical difficulties. If you saw the earlier, I'll delete that, so you can find it right now. But I'm glad everyone's so persistent and wants to be here. I've been writing still contained thrillers, and I find contained is still a fantastic area that people want contained scripts. They're cheaper to make. Why not? So yeah, the State of the Union address for genres is strong. We like that. And today we are going to talk about writing killer beat sheets. And you might say, well, what is a beat sheet? Everybody does have some different ideas. So Nicole, do you want to mention the first kind of beat sheet you think of when you hear that term?
Well, I mean, because it's like depends on who you talk to, but yeah, you do hear different things. It's like the latest definition I've heard is it is almost a completed script. It's like the next thing to having a completed script. So it's almost like you've got everything, including your slug lines. You've got some narration in there, basically, which explains the subtext, the action that's going on in the scene. The only thing that's really kind of missing is the actual dialogue. And that seems to be, at least with the people I've been working with lately, their idea of a beat sheet.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So does anybody else have a different version of what it'd be? Like if you were writing your own spec, what would your beat sheet be, Tom?
Well, normally it would have been less, more sparse. So in other words, a sentence or so to describe kind of what's going on. Agree with Nicole, no dialogue in it, just the principal action that takes place, that takes you
for every scene in the movie?
Pretty much everything, but by and large, when I was doing it before, it wasn't, I wasn't putting in the slug lines, but now I am. The last script I did that and actually kind of worked out a lot of the details from a story logic point of view. And now what's great is the script writes itself. And the other thing that's really great about what Nicole's version that she suggested is that you don't necessarily need dialogue in every scene. And we understand that it's movies are a visual medium. And so if you've really worked out some amazing visuals and the story is being told primarily through visuals, you don't have to write dialogue for every scene. And so therefore you're not relying on the dialogue to get you through the plot, which is a horrible mistake to make that I made long ago.
That's good. We learn from our mistakes. Heidi, how about, what are you using right now beat sheet for? Who's coming to you saying, I need something that detailed?
I'm coming to myself and saying that I have, the Save the Cat is one of my favorite outlines of a beat sheet. And looking here past my word cave here, the wall here has the first act, two halves of the second act, and then the third act. So you've got the midpoint, you've got all the things, and it's a map. It is a map, and I'm nodding. I'm making myself dizzy nodding when this fabulous panel says things. So ditto to everything everybody said. And I really do think it's your best friend. The beat sheet is to get you motivated and moving, and it's your guideposts.
Yeah, I would agree with the guidepost thing, because I judge a lot of if I've got enough of my structurally, if I'm right, by how many beats are in my script.
Yeah.
So how about you, Eric? Where do you fall with the beat sheet?
Everything that y'all said is crap. Don't blame.
That's funny. That's funny.
We gotta have somebody that has a dissenting idea. So I had to just come up with something.
Can't we mute him?
We'll never get him back.
No, I
know, right? It is a ditto. I know, right? It is ditto. But I think what we're talking about is degrees of a beat sheet. Like some people just do the first sentence, the umbrella type sentence of the scene, right? And then as you go to the next incarnation, it's a little bit more. And then when you're almost ready to write, you really get more details, and you start thinking about the settings and the subtext, So I think it's just the degrees. I think it's all a beat sheet. And between a beat sheet and an outline, I think the outline is usually the first thing with the very sparse words. And Johnny goes, gets coffee and meets Cindy, something like that. That's outline to me. Beat sheet says, but Bob is coming to serve her divorce papers, and she's not, I start getting more details as I'm ready to write, actually like getting close to actually writing it. So I think it's the degree of, it's like draft after draft. Each draft gets more specific and more detailed.
Can I expand on what Eric was saying? I have found it really helpful, and I don't know if this is helpful to other people, but even before I do the beat sheet is, if it, obviously a new story and new characters, and if I have my beginning, my middle, and my end, I love to write a 4 or 5 page present tense. Eric goes into his car and buys his mom a light bulb. I love to do that.
True story.
True story. And I love to give that to 2 or 3 writers. We exchange stuff, and I admire, and just say, does this make sense? Is this ridiculous?
At the beat sheet level?
No, before. at the outline. Like I write it like a short story, like a 4 or 5 page short story, and just say, is this interesting? Am I missing something? Is this ridiculous? Does it not make sense? Very, very broad strokes, just to know if I'm moving in the right direction in terms of storytelling, in terms of interest, before I get to the beat sheet. It's like it's the pre-beat sheet. It's the prequel to the beat sheet.
Right. That's really fascinating that you do that, Heidi, because I've actually been asked by producers to take the bare bones outline, because I think in bullet points, and I love bullet points, and I've been asked to do that, where it's like, take this and turn it into a short story, and I always resist, because I'm like, why? This is a screenplay. Why don't I just why don't I just give you a beat sheet? You can see how it'll look in screenplay format. Why do I have to write you a short story? So that's interesting that you kind of gravitate naturally in that direction.
Yeah, I sort of find it helpful. Just really broad strokes. Is this a story you might want to see?
Yeah. Well, I agree. It's those stages you need, because for me, a beat sheet is when you get to scene, this scene, that, total order of the scenes, and that you can't jump into that. I mean, I guess you could try. Let's hopefully you wouldn't. What other kind of situations have producers asked you for a beat sheet? Because I've actually found that they don't want it that detailed usually. They want something easy to read, which a beat sheet probably isn't. You're nodding, Heidi, what?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I've never been asked for a beat sheet. I have been asked for short stories, but I've never been asked for a beat sheet.
Yeah, I do one for myself.
It's strictly for me. Yeah,
because that's how you save time. I find that's how I save time. I don't want to write it all, right? I want to beat it out to know if it's going to work, right, Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's, for me, with all the people I work with, usually the treatment would be 3, 4, 5 pages, but that's really more for me. I've never had anyone say, "Well, send me the treatment first, and then we'll go to this." Like, I've never had that. It's usually, what's the story? This is it. This is the outline of kind of where it's going. Then they say, okay, go write it. But I know for me, well, we gotta map this out a little better than that. So it's never, no one's really, I say, send me the beat sheet first.
No,
it's usually been for me, like for me to write it, I usually do it.
Well, so you can answer their questions too, or when they want to change something, you can say, "Well, we can't because I figured it out." You can't do that yet, right?
Well, but it's all about when and how the process, where you come in at, what they want. So it's not that you're right or wrong. It's just if they come to you with, let's say, the idea, right, and they say, "Okay, go work it out." Then of course there's an outline. We'll go with the outline. But they say they'll be vague themselves because they don't really know either.
They don't know,
right? They'll say, if something should happen here, something should happen here. Okay, I ain't gonna fill that in. So yeah. It's just
so how about to give some people some tips to actually write a really good beat sheet, more for yourself probably, because it seems to be a consensus here that none of us have been asked to do this for a producer, but it's a great backup so you know what you are actually going to write. So what are some great tips to make that beat sheet work really well for you, Nicole?
What I do, and I actually do this in the outline stage, but then you expand it in the beat sheet stage, is with each scene, I figure out the 3 principal characters, and sometimes there's only the 2 in there. So you need to know what's your protagonist, what they're trying to accomplish in this scene, what the antagonist is trying to accomplish in this scene if they're present in the scene. And then the 3rd character is usually what I call the emotional heart character, or the one that is, sometimes it's a love interest or a sidekick for the protagonist, but it's usually the one that is the sounding board. Yeah, the stakes or the sounding board. Yeah, it's like, so usually I try to figure out who the 3 primary characters are in each scene and what they want, and if there's no conflict, you have no scene. You need to redo it. So that's the most important thing, I think, with the beat sheet. It allows you to see what the conflict is in each scene, and if there is none, either ditch the scene or rewrite it, because it needs.
I love that. Yeah, I agree. Excellent. If there's no conflict, you got a problem, right, Tom?
Absolutely. That just went through that. Everybody just went through that about a week ago, and I went back and I was doing it with the mini movie method, which some of you may be familiar with. Yeah. And what else is that called? And it's also called
sequences.
Sequences, yeah. So I was doing that, which is basically sort of 8 little sections, each with a beginning, middle, and an end. And I suddenly realized that mini movie 3, which is about 45 pages into the script or so, there was nothing going on. And it was by looking at the outline, I couldn't tell that. But when I started to fill that in and make that more, because I got asked, Eric, unlike you, I got asked to send a treatment as soon as possible for this thing to a producer. And so I'm like, oh, so he wants it yesterday, but it's like, I can't give him a treatment until I know exactly how this thing unfolds. And with a thriller, you've got all these, overlapping, underlapping, kind of stacking suspense elements in there, so and mystery and stuff. So I just, for some reason, I didn't notice it at the outline stage, but in the mini movie, when I tried to write it out, it's exactly what Nicole said. I discovered there's no conflict here. What the hell? What does everybody want? No conflict with my main character. And so I had to rethink that whole area. And having done that, the value of it is, and you asked for a tip for our listeners, the value to that, to me, was that now that's a really strong scene with a whole lot of, and it's a pivotal scene, and it starts to sort of it stirs the pot of all the future conflicts that are coming up. So
that's cool. I like how you built that. And Eric, I was also going to think it's a good point that Tom makes, is that you actually are getting into your scenes and seeing how they work and don't work. To me, some of the flaws when you are beginner writers, you work a lot on the first act. Yeah, and the third act really gets nothing. And so to me, in a beat sheet, that's a great way to say, let's look at the part we don't look at. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's what they call the flabby middle between Act 1 and Act 3, right?
Really?
Right. Yeah, no, I think it's really, it does help. It helps a lot where if you can pinpoint where the problem is faster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're trying to work on a deadline and stuff, just trying to, I'm really working hard on trying to streamline the process. So there's just certain things I have templates for things that I got to fill in. I got to know this and that, just like Nicole said, I got to know who, what, where, when, why, how. I got to know conflict, subtext, emotional core, arc. Where's the scene begin and where's it end? If it starts with a happy and it ends happy, then that's not a scene. Like I don't know what that is. So
right, the whole plus minus. If you start plus,
all that stuff. So all the stuff we learned, like, it really put it to use. But the beat sheet really helps you. If it like Tom was saying, if it goes flabby somewhere, you're like, wait a minute. It's usually, and the fact that you can break it down to 15 pages is better than trying to think of 60 pages of the second act, right? It's better to go 15, 15, 15. It's just better that way, to do it that way. So if any tip, the biggest tip I have for a beat sheet is, no more than 45 scenes.
Yeah, I would say 40. That's my, I always go
45. Usually a sequence, if you write act, there's a couple sequences with some acting, okay, so,
That's one for me.
Only because it's forcing you not to just have any old scene in there, any old time, and hey, let it go to the park, and let's go to the baseball game, and let's go to the library. You're like, oh my God, that's 3 scenes you just wasted, And also you can watch the characters. You can watch like each scene, like how's my villain? Where's my villain at? Where's my protagonist at? Where's the friend at? Or the sidekick, you can map that out also in your beat sheet.
Well, what do you think about this? Because sometimes it's daunting to say I've got to come up with 40 scenes when, even if you've done your outline work, what if you just say find the 3 critical scenes in each act, with Act 2 being 2 parts? So have you ever tried that as a way to start, Heidi?
I just, in terms of that, I think of it in terms of set pieces.
Yes.
And and in addition to, you guys have heard me say a million times, to me, every story is about relationships and transformation. And I have here on my board, especially for Act 2, exhaust the main character until they have no choice but to change. Which, as they say, in the first act, get your character up a tree. In the second act, throw rocks at him. In the third act, get him get him down off the tree. But, and I think of it in terms of where are my locations that are interesting, and illuminating. And I also like to change the texture of the locations. You know, it's obviously, if you're going to be inside a lot, get them outside, get them somewhere interesting. Vary the rhythm, vary the length of your scenes, vary the rhythm. Keep in mind keeping the interest. And yeah, I do think, I agree. Pick 2 or 3 really interesting and meaningful locations for each act and for the 2 halves of the second act. And that's a good way to start.
Yeah, it's a good way to jumpstart it. To me, the other way is to pick the scenes that you know are going to be in your genre movie.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying, you know, if you know that there's a love, there's going to be a kiss, there's going to be, you know, there's going to be a point where they're going to absolutely just hate each other or whatever it is. Yeah. You've got to have those scenes, so you might as well plot where they belong.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Or Heidi.
Yeah. No, they're good. You know, it's like if you're in the, you know, thank you. The word just didn't come. Yeah. Guideposts. Thank you.
You gave it to me.
Thank you for giving. Thank you for it. Yeah.
Any other tips, like Nicole? What's your thought process with when you beat?
Well, I mean, for me, I start. You know, the beat sheet is clearly the very last step in the process. I start very, very broad. I start with my log line, and then I break the log line down into, you know, the 4 acts: Act 1, first half of Act 2, second half of Act 2. And then from there, I get into like my save the cat / mini movie method / hybrid thing that I do. And then from there, you know, so it's like I just keep building it out in layers. It's like an onion. And the beat sheet is absolutely the last step of that process before you get into the actual screenplay. And having a beat sheet, you know, you can write a script like so fast, it'll blow your mind if you have your beat sheet. It's amazing how quickly you can turn a finish.
Definitely worth the effort.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, yes. Don't do it without. I would say. I mean, gosh, don't go without.
Have you guys ever written log lines for like an act or for a scene? Have you ever gotten that detailed, Tom?
Yeah, actually, I write log lines for each character, and also sort of, I wouldn't call it a log line, but kind of a essence statement. What is the essence of this scene? Because sometimes I'll get all off and start falling in love with a character or a dialogue or a piece of action, something that's exciting, and I'm thinking to myself, wait, what am I supposed to get across here?
Yeah,
what's
a good point.
And so the essence is kind of the log line for the scene.
That's the point of it. We're getting a little feedback. I don't know where that's coming from, but hopefully it'll go away. Anybody else have any other tips they want to share about
There goes Eric.
No, I don't know what that's coming from.
Hello.
I just say don't be a.
We're losing you there.
Now we're losing.
He's frozen.
Hello?
Eric? Hello? Get into the carpool lane.
I'm here.
Okay.
How about now?
Yeah, now we hear you.
Okay, that was weird. I don't know what. Okay. No, all I said was this: is make sure that don't be afraid to play a little bit with your beat sheet. You know, let your mind wander a little bit sometimes, because sometimes.
Oh, we lost him. Eric, come back when you can. Are you there?
There.
I'm here.
You're fading in.
I'll hang up and send me. I'll hang up and send me another thing.
Okay. Well, okay. Go ahead. Well, we'll keep going on without Eric. I will send him a second invite. It's the joy of Google. Hey, it's free. We can't complain.
Yeah,
works for us. So, anybody want to add anything else about beat sheets, or we could move on? Well, we wish everybody much luck in writing your beat sheets.
Yes,
it's an important skill, mostly for you.
Enjoy it. Have fun with it.
Yeah, cool. We have an audience question.
Cool.
It's I don't know if you've heard that Final Draft has a new Final Draft 10 has come out. So they wanted to know what our feelings were. Are we loving it? What have we found out about the program? Who's tried it?
I haven't tried it.
You haven't tried it? Oh, Tom?
No.
I just got it day before
Yeah.
yesterday.
What do you think?
I love it. I'm having no problems with it at all. There's, did you ever do something where you had two characters talking at the same time?
Yeah.
The dual dialogue? Yeah.
Yeah, Danny and Karen, and one says yes and the other one says no, and you want them side by side. Well, the way you had to do that before is you had to kind of line them up and just sort of fake it. And every time you go through a format check, it goes, oops, that's a mistake. But now it lets you do that. So there's just a whole bunch of little things like that. Also, the navigator.
How about the beat board?
The navigator lets you, like for instance, I marked where each mini movie was, and so I can just go, let's go to mini movie 2 now.
Very cool.
And it just takes me there instead of having to, what page was that on again? So
yeah, for those that don't have it yet, it has a whole beat board that you can.
Wow.
You can pull stuff up to this timeline at the top and say, this is the second act, this is my midpoint.
Wow.
You can do all that, and then you can also, it has cards that you can bring down.
Wow.
Right.
So Anne, you're loving it.
Yeah, I like it a lot, and plus they have a
Excellent.
split screen feature, so I can I have a very big screen here, and I can have the beat board on this side, and this side I can have my script.
Wow.
That's kind of fun.
you can also
cool.
collaborate in real time now. So that's
I know. Now that we both have it, Tom.
Wow.
yes,
I
yeah,
haven't been able to test
Wow.
that yet.
we can
So
work on the
cool.
TV show.
Yeah. Well, I guess now that it's out, I can say I was a beta tester for it.
Wow. Very cool,
That was
Anne.
really fun, and
Hey,
those guys really wanted to make it perfect for us, so I was very
Excellent.
impressed.
That's cool.
Cool.
Yep. So hopefully you guys will upgrade and enjoy.
Oh God, yes. Yeah, absolutely. Very cool.
Is there anything else you noticed about it, Tom, that you liked?
No, I just started to get into it. Like I was gone yesterday, so day before yesterday was the first time I had a chance to.
Well, that's
to
cool.
try
We
it
got
out.
to use that collaboration tool, because the whole point, I believe, of it is you guys can kind of almost you can work on the same document, and I don't know if you can work on it in
Amazing.
real time.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
I
you
believe
can. That's really cool.
I remember hearing people post it or reading what people posted about. They were very happy with it.
Wow.
I saw some posts from people that said that they had Windows 10 and that Windows 10 was mangling Final Draft 10.
Oh.
But my answer to them is get a Mac.
Okay, that's another episode.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Mac
right.
or Windows.
That's right. That's
But
right.
Yeah.
there may be some, just as a warning, there may be some problems with if
yeah.
you've got Windows.
I know with the beta testers, there were people on both sides testing it, and I didn't see that issue.
Good.
Did Windows get a new upgrade for Word?
I don't know.
I'm not that techie. Sometimes I just want it to work. I don't want to know how. But
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, guys, we've come to the end of another show.
Oh, we did
Wow.
We did it. It was daunting, and we did it, you guys. Yay.
No, we struggled through and fought and won. We won the
Yay.
good battle.
And we only lost one man down.
One man down. One
But we
man
lost
down.
Margie. I would say that Margaret Risley was
Yes,
here, but
she was here.
Oh.
Yes.
I think it was the internet thing in Australia. She's so
Yes.
far away
Yes.
at the beach. We'll feel bad for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Bad for us that we didn't get to see her.
Yes.
As you say goodbye, why don't you give us a word of inspiration for everyone to keep fighting the good fight? Heidi?
My favorite word, whether it's about your writing or your business part of your career, elevate.
I like that. Elevate. Very, very
That's a
good.
good one.
Tom, do you have, thank you again for being here.
Thank you. I guess my favorite word is persistence.
Nice.
Talent will only take you so far.
Yep.
Just keep at it. Keep at it. Somebody was asking, how long does it do you need to write a script, in a month and stuff? Well, it's like, if you're writing every day, you're writing an hour, you're going to get through scripts. You're going to get through at least 2 or 3 of them a year, even with problems. But just keep at it.
Just keep at it. I love it. Nicole Jones-Dion, thanks for returning. I know you've been out filming and doing great things, and we're happy to have you back.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to be back. It's been too long. I like both of their words. I want to steal them.
Okay.
I guess the only thing I have to say, it's kind of a fun little quote, but it's true, is opportunity is often disguised as work. That's why a lot of people miss it.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So yeah, just if you're willing to put in the effort, you will get returns. You just got to put in the effort. Nothing's going to land on your lap. You got to be diligent and go out there and just get her done.
That's a great point. I think we've all learned that. Yeah, I'll piggyback on you and say effort. Yeah, let your effort will equal your successes at some point here. But keep at it. Thanks again to my incredible panel, Tom, Nicole, Heidi, Eric, wherever you are, driving safely,
Margie,
and Margie. We'll see you guys next time on Screenwriters.
Thank you, Anne. Thanks for bringing us together. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.